see how much rain we got the last couple days. Whisker over 2 inches. It's about what I figured. If it was dry, sure isn't anymore. Hey everyone, my name is Matt and welcome back to the farm. We've been out goofing off at farmer's market this morning. It was a good day, but we got some things to get accomplished around here, so let's get to work. Here you go, ladies. I'll have to come back up in an hour and do it again. Figure out a way to get it all dirty. Alright, let's measure off 10 inches. Alright, we're going to need a bunch of these. We're going to need this. Probably going to need this. Well, we're going to work on the hen house project a little bit today. Even though it's a little bit wet, still got to get the work done. Since the last video that we worked on this project, I've been busy. I got the header all up. I got a truss up. So I came home one day in between bus runs, and it wasn't supposed to be very nice that day, but turned out to be fairly decent. So I wanted to figure out where my new trusses were going to line up with the existing building. So I started doing some measuring and got that figured out in pretty short order. And I was just in a work mode that day. So I went and got the 2x6 header boards I was going to use and just started putting them up. And next thing you know, I had them all stretched out. Everything's all nice and level. I wanted to see how the first truss was going to fit, so I got that up there, screwed in place, and I'm happy with everything. So the only thing I got left to do up here is cut the tops of the 4x4s off. But what we're going to do today is we're going to get the plates for mounting the trusses to the header. We're going to get those in place. We're going to get the trusses up there. I'd like to have the purlins on, and then tomorrow I'd like to get the boards all around the bottom and get the door framed in here on this end, because the tin's ordered. I'll have to pick that up later on next week, and hopefully by Thanksgiving time we're going to have this project just about wrapped up. Well, let's see if we made this level. Looks pretty good to me. So now I got to go from this mark here that I just made 53.5 inches out, make another mark, That'll be the center line of the next truss. I'm going to fasten one truss right directly to the 4x4. I'm not doing 4 foot on center, and just the way the math worked out, it's actually like 4.5 foot on center for each truss. So that's the way it's working. Well, let's see if my pole's level. Looks pretty good that way. Let's see if the other pole's level. Looks good enough for me. I skipped the next trussing line and went right to the one that's being fastened to the 4x4s because it was doing a little bit of this. And I wanted to make sure that I had the pole straight up and down before I fastened the other ones. All the other trusses are going to be affixed to the plates that I already screwed on, so that was the only one I was really concerned about. If I have to adjust the ones on the plates a little bit, there'll be a little bit of flexibility there with the 2x6 headers. I think it's a little muddy in my work zone. I'm feeling a few pounds heavier today. The old legs are getting a workout today. Well, the trusses are up. They look straight from here, I guess. But I think this is where we're going to stop for the night. I got to run Logan to town for a school function. Got to get chores done. It's getting late. But I think tomorrow I want to work on getting the purlins on, get the roof all ready to put tin on. I want to get the wall boards all up, maybe even get the end door framed in. So we'll see you in the morning. All right, I got to come clean on something. This morning I came out here before we ran off to do our family function, and I got looking at this, just looking at things, and I noticed a problem. I had a truss on the far side of this pole. Well, it's 12 feet from the end of that pole to the existing chicken coop. My lumber that I bought is 12 feet. So I got doing some looking, said what can I do to fix this situation? So I moved that truss to the other side of the pole, so that takes care of that problem. Well, then I had a really large gap in here that I wasn't happy with. Long story short, I went through and I moved each truss to the opposite side of its mounting plate. So that should take care of my problem. I'm not quite sure if I'm still going to have a problem. I got to offset my purlins to make it stronger. I don't want to have all the joints on one truss. So I still may have to get a couple 14 or 16 footers coming back this way in order to land on a truss. We'll have to see as we go together. Let's get started. Well, my assumption would have been correct. I'd have been that much too short. So I'm glad I moved the trusses like I did, being able to continue on with the project. tape measure. That's not going to work so well. Well, we got most of the purlins up. We're lacking the 14-foot sections to go from here over to the end wall on both sides. I'll have to get those. But I wanted to get this section of purlins in the middle so I could put our tie boards in that tie the new addition to the existing shed. That strengthened that up a lot. Now, one thing I do plan on doing is after the fact, I'm going to go through and put another header board on the inside. So it's going to have a double header on it on both sides. And that's something I can go back through and do after it's put together. But she's coming together. That ought to be enough. Well, let's see if I remember how to run this thing. There we go. So something we don't usually do here on our channel is grilling. Well, today I wanted to show what we're doing. This is our brand new Trieger Pro Series 22 smoker that we just got. We plan on using it for our Thanksgiving turkey this year, but we're giving it its maiden voyage today. We have a couple of our pasture raised chickens we're gonna throw on here. We got a set of halves and a set of leg quarters. So I'm really excited to see how this thing works. I had one a couple years ago, just a little chest cabinet, and it was warming up one day and it was smoking to high heaven. I opened it up and it was literally on fire inside, so I closed the door, unplugged it, kicked it out into the yard, and that was the last time we ever had a smoker around here. So we're gonna give it a whirl and see how it works. All right, let's get this board on. That looks pretty good. Good enough. $111. Well, I'd say that's not too bad for a couple hours worth of work. I'm gonna leave this end wall open. I was gonna frame it up and put the door in it, but as we're going through, I got thinking the weather's supposed to turn and it's gonna get colder, and it's not gonna be weather that's conducive for doing concrete. So what I wanna do is just get a load of stone and sprinkle some stone in there, give a nice base and fill in the gaps underneath the boards. So by leaving the end open, I can use a New Holland and a bucket to just sprinkle the stone in later on. So we'll end up closing that in after we put stone in it. But I got to get the 14-foot 2x4s for the two purlins up there. Then we're ready to start putting tin and clear siding on. So good progress for today, but we got to go get chores done because somebody up there is belly aching and has been for the last hour that they want a new round bale, and apparently they're about out. So we better go get that done. Let's see how the chicken looks. Ooh, that looks yummy. Nice and crispy. I think they're ready to come off of here. We gotta let the smoker run through a cool down cycle. The chicken's inside. Logan and Stacy are pulling that off the bone as we speak. So we're gonna enjoy a nice homegrown chicken meal tonight. We got a lot done on the hen house project over the last 2 days, but we got just a 2-day week coming up with Thanksgiving break from school. So the rest of the week we'll be able to get caught up on a lot of other things and hopefully finish up this project before the real cold weather rolls in and get those hens moved out into their new home. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you like our channel, as always, we ask you to subscribe. We hope you have a great Thanksgiving. We'll see you next time.